Knights of D20 Dion Rising campaign, and tonight I am joined by Royal, who plays Zada. Welcome, welcome.
Oh,
All right, so we are chatting today about Zada and Dion Rising. So before we get started, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a wonderful blend of spearmint and mint because I like those a lot.
What's the first one?
Spearmint,
Oh, spearmint and
spearmint.
mint. Okay, okay. Are these two different types of teas that you put in the same mug?
Yeah, I mean it's just a packet,
Okay, okay.
just a packet.
But is it a spearmint and mint blend, or did you just take two and you're like, let me mix
It's
these?
it's a blend. It's definitely a blend.
Okay.
I me knowing how to do that. No,
Yeah,
I
mixing,
just
taking two tea bags at once.
taking two. No, I've
That's
done
too
that
much.
before.
That's too much
Actually,
work for me.
it's too much. Too much work. No, I actually used to do that. This when I was working at my video game company. This is what I would have full of tea, and I would have like 3 or 4 packets. And
Oh my
sometimes
gosh.
like they had like because they used to have like free soda,
Mm-hmm.
and then they stopped, and then they only had tea. So then I started getting tea, and depending on what they had available, sometimes I would mix, and sometimes I'd just be like, today I feel like lemon with green tea, or lemon with chamomile, or
Yeah.
usually lemon with something, or lemon and orange, or something like that. I would just mix it just to try it out.
I feel like lemon
And
is too tart for me. I'm not into it.
on mine, it's like mint and lemon. Those are like my favorite ones.
Okay,
I'm not a
okay.
big fan of orange. I found out.
I don't know if I've had an orange tea. That's very interesting.
Particularly fond of it.
Mm.
It was all right.
Alrighty, so let's get into it. Tell me a little bit about Zada. Like, give me like the background on Zada. Just introduce him.
Zada. What can I say about Zada Storming?
Yeah.
Um, he is a Lunalin, so he is a lion man. He comes from a very, very far away continent that is very different from the continent he is currently on.
Mm-hmm.
He is it's a very Native American. That is the way I put his tribe. It's
Yeah.
very nomadic and very Native American. They hunt to eat, they take care of the land, and they worship Ere as as a goddess, which is as a lot of or which some people may not know, she is an unwelcome one. So she is not one of the hot goddesses on the street. She is considered more of a not a nice goddess. His tribe does not see her that way. He sees
Right.
her as because what she represents is glory, war, vengeance, and those are the things his pride takes pride in, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he hunts and he takes trophies to appease the goddess to show her. That's what does a lot of that trophy stuff that he
Yeah,
grabs and gave
yeah.
you your first one
I do
is
remember
because
the snails. Oh my god, I can't even talk
the
about it anymore. I don't
snails.
want to talk about it.
Still want to talk about Petunia and Gogo?
No, I can't speak of Petunia and Gogo and how we murdered them.
We definitely murdered them. But Zada was definitely okay with it. That is just how things are. Zada is so in his tribe there is a chieftain, then there is the wise man, and then like the shaman slash medicine woman. His mother
Mm,
is the shaman slash medicine woman,
I did
and
not
his
know that. Okay. These are
she
new
is also a
facts.
priest. She is a priestess of Ere. Um,
Mm.
that is where Zada gets his divine connection from. Is from his mother
Oh,
and
I
his.
didn't know.
No one's asked about his family really, so he hasn't really said anything. Zada's dad is a main one of the better warriors in the tribe. Probably a couple that are
Oh.
better than him. Probably the chieftain and a couple of others. Yeah, he got it from his mama.
I think that might be Kara.
It's
I can't tell.
it's
Someone from the
probably
official
Zara.
account is commenting.
Someone's in the official one snooping. Um, yeah, Zada is so his dad is definitely more of the monk, and
Mm,
the way I envision the monks in for his tribe is they are very, again, Native American
mm-hmm.
type people. They use their claws in terms of like fists and stuff like that. Like normal monks, they are mostly adept with using their claws and martial arts to take care of things. They use simple weapons, of course, like most monks
Right,
do. So
right.
short swords and
Yeah.
spears are what he's used to. Um, but yeah, that's, I mean, that's Zada in a shell of at least where he comes from. He traveled really, really far away. I thought it was it was Dane.
Dane's checking in to make sure I didn't screw up the audio every
He just wants
week
his dish
because I do.
on his. I mean, there's that, but he also wants the dish on his BFF Zada.
I know
I know
he
you're my best friend.
yeah, he wants to know what to say to you when you guys have more naked fighting.
Naked fighting
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Zada's always down. Zada is not somebody that is uncomfortable with being naked, so he's only been clothed because everybody's like, my guy, it's not right, and then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, sure. Um, but yeah, Zada. So when Zada was first coming, so I said he started with a caravan that was run by a dwarf that
Yeah.
usually would come by to his settlement.
Mhm.
Um, and he hitched a ride for reasons
Well,
to go
okay, we
to.
can come back to that. All right, keep going. I won't interrupt you. Keep going.
he so he went to the caravan. He joined in with them. He went to the continent. He finally learned about like working metals and stuff like that. They didn't
Hmm.
have a lot of metal tools and stuff like that, so the dwarf gifted him his scale no chainmail that he had.
Oh.
So he had the chainmail and the great sword that were gifts from the dwarf. And they I should also probably, because I'm going to screw up the names of my own family if I don't open it up,
Yeah,
so I'm going to
open up
my
all your
own
notes. Dane
open
said
up
there's
my
gonna
notes.
Dane's saying there's gonna be naked cruise ship fighting, but I think Zada will have disadvantage on the ship if you guys.
Yeah, Sada does not have sea legs. He is not a happy boy right now. He is his first trip was terrible, and he tried to be a big brave boy about it, but it didn't work. He had a real bad time. Like, because from is mostly like a plains like desert, so there's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of water, and
Right,
like
right.
small boats could go out to like maybe small rivers or a pond like lake, like that's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of water for him. But then anything more than that, and he's like, what are we what, there's that much water. So he is a little uncomfortable about that and may probably not have the best of swimming skills. He knows how to swim. He is
He
just not
does.
very good at it.
Okay,
Yeah, he
yeah.
knows how to swim.
I'm kind of curious because I think Zada had obviously a really hard time getting on the ship. So like, and then Kara had mentioned that Zada had a really rough trip the first time. So like, tell me a little bit more about what was so difficult and traumatic about your first ship ride.
It is a rough. It is rough to get, like in terms of storms and weather and stuff. It
Mm,
is very difficult to get to that continent. So he
mm-hmm.
had to. So imagine your first boat ride just being in the middle of like a superstorm
Yeah,
almost the
I
entire
see. I
time.
see. Y-
So Zada did not have a good time.
Okay, okay, okay. That's very interesting. I wonder.
Yeah. So he didn't have a good time crossing by water.
Mm-hmm.
It was it's not something he was prepared for. He knew about it, but was not prepared for the actual. And he thought he would be like, "Yeah, it's fine. I've been in boats before. I'll be fine." But as a lot of people know, being in a boat and being in a ship in the ocean, two different things. They
Yeah.
are completely different. So he had a real rough time. He was very seasick, and then being in very tough storms
Mm.
where the problem was for him, he couldn't do anything. He wasn't helpful. So he
Oh,
doesn't
you kind
like
of just feel
not
stuck.
being,
Yeah.
yeah. There was nothing he could do. He was at the whims of whatever's on the boat, and there was no way that he could really help the people on the boat because he
Mm.
really didn't understand what to do on a ship. So he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like feeling helpless. And that's really what he
I
felt
see. So
during
you feel
that
very
time.
vulnerable.
As we can tell, Zada does
Oh.
not like being vulnerable at all.
Is that because Royal doesn't like being vulnerable?
Royal does not like being vulnerable at all. He can be, but he does not like it. Zada is also a person that does not like it. Zada is, I think, I think everybody has said, like, is a small piece of you. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and Zada is definitely that. Zada is definitely a piece of me, but the piece of me that is more impulsive. Like, I do have an impulsive
Mm.
streak, but it's not very often. But Zada is very impulsive, and he has a very strong belief system, and he will stick by it. He does not like people questioning his belief system. Um,
Mm.
that is another thing. I have a pretty strong belief system, but I am very open to other people talking to me and like conversing and seeing different perspectives. Zada is not that way. Zada is like, this is my way, this is how
Yeah,
it
that's
works,
the
and
way.
that's how it is.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the only way. You may not like it, but that's just how I am, and I'm not going to change for you. That's how Zada is. So if Zada does any type of like, I would say like trying to reach a middle ground or something like that, he must really like you because he does not do that
Mm.
easily. So, yeah. Uh, I will say that Zada is not chaotic neutral. I'm pretty sure people think he's very chaotic neutral. He is actually lawful neutral. He is a lawful neutral character. And I don't really like the alignment system, but that would be what it would be the closest thing that I would say for him. And I don't know if you know what the alignment system is, Melanie.
I do a
Uh,
little bit. I do a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
I would say Serafina might be. Uh, I think when I made her, I wanted her to be like more true neutral, but now I'm not sure. But yeah, tell me. I think for me, lawful neutral might be kind of hard for me to get my head around. So like, help me.
It's a
Yeah, what
difficult
does
one to
that
go
look
by.
like? Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like I don't
Lawful
see that a
neutral
lot.
believes in the complete balance of things, and but his is in the
Mm.
terms of the circle of life. Like that's his thing, is like the strong prey on the weak. That's how it goes. So he's not going to
Okay,
be the
okay,
first one to
okay.
rush over to somebody in trouble, like in a battle or in a fight, and they can't win. He's not going to be like, I'm going to rescue you. He's like, shouldn't have fought that monster. It's got to eat. So do it or not. The only people he will rush to defend are his people that he's in his pride. And that is also why he was very angry with the treasurer and Tuzanks, because they are supposed to be like the chieftains. They are supposed to protect the people. They basically
Mm-hmm.
said, I need protection,
Yeah.
and you for what I do for the tribe, you protect me. And that's the way of things. If you are to go back on that word, then you are not fit to lead. There's no reason
Yeah.
for you to lead.
Yeah.
Um, that is why was incredibly upset about that. Is just he doesn't mind if the weak get killed, but if somebody strong is saying they're willing to protect people, then
You
you
should
better
follow
protect them.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, that is your word. That is what you should do. And if you should go back on that, then there is no redemption. And then that's the part of area that comes by is the people need vengeance. They need someone strong to strike out the person that is being a tyrant or not taking care of them. And that is what Zada is. He is an instrument of Ere, and he takes that job very seriously.
So, what was it about Zada that you wanted to capture in this character? Like what's appealing about him that made you want to play a character like him?
To play Zada. So I'm not a big I don't really play a lot of heavy melee classes. I'm usually a very
Mm.
big caster class.
Yeah.
I like sorcerer,
Mm-hmm.
I like warlock, I like
Yeah.
cleric. So I did the cleric because but then I chose the cleric of war. I usually choose like
Mm.
cleric of the light domain. I like light. I also like storm. I tend to be a more offensive cleric than a defensive cleric. I'm not a Maroway. I'm not a Bobby.
Mm.
I'm not a support
Mm-hmm.
boy. I
Yeah.
am I am going out blasting. And
Yeah.
I decided I want to do war cleric because Zada was originally supposed to be a warrior cleric. So cleric flipped
Mm-hmm.
warrior. So he was going to have the extra melee attack, and he was going to get some fighter techniques and then just be the heavy tank.
Mm.
And then the 2024 rules came on, and I've always liked Monk, but I never liked playing Monk because I had a problem with Monk and their resources.
Mm.
It's kind of the issue I have. I love Warlock. I love Warlock, but I really dislike the amount of spells that you can cast. You just turn kind of
Yes.
into that. You just kind of turn into the Eldritch Blast Cannon, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
That's
kind of your
true.
thing.
Yeah.
So, that is kind of the thing. I with Monk is just like you have so many key points in the 2014 rules, and it's like, okay, you're out. Okay, well, you're not gonna do much. You're just gonna punch. So, but I saw the new 2024 rules and I love the changes that they made. And I like the subclass that I'm going to pick next level because it was the changes were fantastic.
Yeah, what's the subclass that you want to pick?
Ooh, man. I
Mm.
could tell you, but then there wouldn't be any surprise when it happens. But there is definitely a subclass, and I will go with it is one of the new remade subclasses. It's not anything from Unearthed Arcana or it's actually one of the new remade ones. So you either got uh Way of the Open Fist, you have the Mercy, Way of the Elements, or Shadow. So those are the four you can choose from for
Okay, so
Zada.
it's
You
one
can
of
try to
these
figure out which
four.
one.
It's the
One of the four
fist. You said
is the
mercy.
Way of the Open Fist,
Uh-huh.
Mercy, Way of the Four Elements, and the Shadow.
Shadow. Okay, I feel like Zana's not gonna pick the shadow. I feel like that doesn't sound like him. And mercy doesn't sound like him either, right? Because I feel like I feel like things should just like you said, like lawful neutral. So maybe am I moving in the right direction? Me knowing nothing about these subclasses, I'm just guessing based off of the names.
Yeah, you're doing good. So you got a 50-50
Did I
now.
narrow it down? Okay, okay. I'm doing
Got a
okay.
50-50.
Can I call a friend?
Um you talk to Dave. Like Dave already knows, so it's not fair. Dave already knows my
Oh,
subclass.
Dane knows. Dane, put it in chat.
Dane already knows my subclass. Because we were talking a lot about the new 2024 rules, and I was like, this is
Hmm.
this is the one I know. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
do know all, don't you, buddy? So I already know what Zada is going to be, and I can't wait. I can't wait to actually have a subclass because right now I'm just level 1 cleric and level 2 monk, so I don't have anything special about me right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Okay, that'll be exciting.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Whenever that level up, I just keep waiting for Kara to say, "And you level up." I'm just like, "Can we go?"
I
I mean, you
know.
guys are gonna get it.
I made such a
Yeah.
mistake picking this like sleep spell. It hasn't landed
Sleep
one time.
is
What
The
Waste.
problem with sleep is they have to be under that HP, and it is a great spell. It's just like if they have a lot of HP, you're not really gonna do anything. It's
Yeah.
really nice
Yeah.
for small HP
Yeah,
creatures because
like
it
a
can
kitten.
stand bouncing.
Yeah.
Goblins, kittens, small children.
Yeah.
Um, but if you don't like it, just when you level up, you can switch out your spells. So there you
Mm-hmm.
go, Warlock.
Yeah, I've
You
been
can just be like,
waiting.
oh,
I know Dane says I need to change over to 2024. I've been lagging. Okay, I'm gonna Dane, do you think I should do it before next session or will we level up to level 4?
you can. I mean, it's easy to do right now. You just have to go on your character sheet, add class, add new 2024
Okay.
Warlock, and then delete old Warlock, and then there you go.
Okay.
Yes,
If
Grandpa. Huh?
if I'm not too swamped, I'll ask Kara if I can switch over the weekend.
I did it like easy, easy, easy. You're gonna hold a class for everybody to do it. Please click this button. Now click this button. Okay, you're done.
Just
I love
yeah,
it. I'll be
listen to
your
Dane.
I'll be your student assistant. I'll just be there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I really like the new monk. I like that it's again they say like it's not so Eastern based. It can be any type of martial arts,
Yeah,
and I
I think
enjoy
that's good.
that.
Yeah.
So that's why I am not a lot of people may know by the skin that I have, but I am Native American. Not a lot, but I am Native American.
Mm.
So I really like that part of my ancestry. So I wanted to bring that forward.
Oh, that's
Um,
lovely. I didn't know that.
yeah, I am Native American. Not
Mm.
like a fourth, but it's something. Like I'm like the rest of
Yeah.
the 75% is Irish. So, but that's fine. I have at least a little bit of Native American, and I do enjoy learning about that culture. And I have off and on. I also have created some art. I don't have it with me right now, but I did make my own dream catchers and stuff like that. When I
Wow. Wow.
they're actually pretty cool. If I
Yeah,
get
you'll
around
have
to it,
to share it with us sometime. I'm
maybe I'll
interested.
just make it for you guys sometime. I just need your colors.
Oh my gosh, that would be so nice. That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, they're fun to make. I have a blast making them. Just gotta let me know if you want to have like what colors, if you don't mind leather or pleather, or if you want
Hmm.
sinew or string. Because some people may not want
Hmm.
sinew, but I do use sinew.
Hmm.
They're in craft stores. You can get it.
I did not know that.
So
I'm learning. Wow.
yeah, so I enjoy Native American. I just wanted to bring that a little bit forward for Zada. That's where he comes from. That's why he has like feathers in his hair, very tribal, and
Yeah.
like lioncloth is pretty apparent because again, it's hot. He has fur. He doesn't need a
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Mm-hmm.
clothing,
Yeah.
so he's most of the time just kind of just has a loincloth.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I feel like you've kind of been touching on this, but I'll just ask more explicitly, like how different or similar are is Royal and Zada?
Hmm. Zada and I are similar in the sense of we have a very set belief and we are very we are very straight to like what we are, and he's very straightforward. And that's
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I
can
am a
see
very
that.
caring and helpful person. So if
Yeah.
I'm like, if I see somebody hurt or injured or anything like that, I'm going to go up there and be like, you okay? Do you need help? Do you need anything? Zada's just going to be like, tough it out, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's an understatement. I feel like from what you've shared, like I feel like you do give a lot of yourself to the people that you care about, and I think
Mhm.
yeah, I think when you love someone, I think you really maybe give too much of yourself to help
Yeah, that
them.
is that is a definitely a good statement to go by. Yes,
Yeah.
that is very much easy for me to do.
Yeah.
If I were to say what would Royal be, Royal is a very chaotic good. Like he has
Yeah.
his own definition of good, and
Yeah.
that is what he lives by.
Mhm.
That is what I would say royal is, where Zada, again, lawful neutral. It's a circle of life. Take what you can, take what you need. If you are the strongest, take it. That's just
Mhm.
how the world works. If
Mhm.
you're that's why when we killed him, he's like, "That's all ours. This is ours now." And they're like, "You want to get like, no, we did the work. We deserve all the stuff. We got
I
everything."
see. I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like you've really drawn like the through lines through, you know, why Zada does what he does and how it relates back to his like philosophy and where he comes from. Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like you've done a really good job with that.
Thank you. I was trying, and I'm trying to still play someone that doesn't know a lot about civilization, and
Yeah.
he's he has found out because he was really trying to fit in, and now he's just kind of like,
Hmm.
nope. Because at the beginning he was trying to fit in with everybody. He was trying to fit into this population and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But after seeing the corruption and stuff like that, he's like, I don't even want to be a part of this anymore. I'm just going to be me again. And he's gone back to, like you said, I dropped warrior, went to monk, and that's what he's like. This is the way of my people. This is how we fight. I am going to go back to doing that. I am not going to fight like these people here in the continent, or like how the dwarf taught me how to fight. I am going to fight the way I know how to fight. And that's the way. And he will never be ashamed that he worships Ere. He will not
Hmm.
care if somebody comes up to him and says like, that's a bad goddess. He'll be like, nope, she's a good
Hmm.
goddess. And if you want to say anything bad about her, I will punch you in the face. Do you want to go? And that's how Zada will go about things. And he will definitely do anything for the group, which is now his type of pride right now. Like,
Hmm.
if anything should happen, he will not bat an eye to stop somebody. Um, if he has to lie, cheat, steal, kill, he will do that for the group. He does not have any qualms. Like, he will do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because you mentioned how Zada was trying to fit in initially, but he's sort of doubled down on his roots, right?
Hmm.
Do you see Zada's personal journey like moving forward? Do you envision that he might become more like the people in the group?
You guys might have an influence on him. It really depends on how you guys interact and what you're going through. Zada is trying to be a little bit more apparent because he sees that it causes stress or problems for you guys. That's why he respects
Mm,
Killian, and he went to Killian and said, "Listen, if we go back to Tuzangs, I will kill them. Like, I will kill them. No
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
And if you don't want that to happen, don't take me because I will do it." Like, and because that's his personal code. He's trying to let you know, like, this is my personal code. I understand that this is something that you guys do not do, but I am not going to sacrifice my ideals. I won't hold back. I'm letting you know, like, if you make me stay away from the situation, for now, I will be okay with it. But if he comes, let's say he comes back later and things are still bad or worse, he would probably try to take out the two saints because there
Yeah.
is no reason for them to stay in power. And he doesn't understand why an old man that can barely stay awake is leading the people. Somebody strong needs to be leading the people, not an old man that you can come to for wisdom. That's fine, but someone to lead, that's not a leader.
I see. Yeah, I think Kara had said something that was very apt, which is, like we all kind of view Zada as this like very chaotic character who kind of just throws a wrench in everything and all our plans. But she says that maybe Zada's the least chaotic character because he tells you exactly what he's
Yeah,
gonna
I
do.
Zada tells you what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't bat around what he's going to happen. He's
Yeah.
like, this is what's going to happen, and you're like, nah. And he's like,
Yeah. And then we're all just
all
like
right,
shocked when he do it.
shocked. He said he was going to kill him multiple times, but why would he do it? Like,
Yeah.
He's gonna kill him. And again, he also worships a goddess, something that is possessed by a fiend or a devil or
Mm-hmm.
anything
Yeah.
like that, that opposes his god. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
exit out. He's like, he betrayed and sold his soul to something that will only destroy the people around him. Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy needs to die.
Yeah.
It's like, end it. Sada is definitely, and like I know you wanted to get a little bit into Dark Down. Dark Down is, he does not feel sorry for her. He does not.
I feel like,
She
yeah. Go ahead.
she meddled with things she should not have. This is her fault. Those are the consequences of her action. He does not feel sorry for her. He's like, you did this to yourself. I don't feel bad for you. You did these consequences. See, Royal would feel really bad for her. Zada does not. Zada is like, no, you fucked up. Now I got to pay with the consequences. I'm sorry. I'm like, well, he's not sorry. He's like, I'm just, that's the way life is, buddy. And he will not hesitate to kill her if she goes off into any type of anything evil or anything that would go against his goddess or try to harm anybody, or he thinks anything like that. He will kill her. He is just waiting. He is right now just waiting. I would say he's basically stalking her like a predator
You
sees a
already
prey, and
attacked
he is,
her.
yeah, he was done with
Ridiculous.
her shit, man.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
what she's doing, he doesn't think it's cute. He just thinks it's annoying. Like, he is there to guard her and protect her to make sure she does not do bad things.
Yeah.
And if she does something bad, he is like right now he is like that close, and then she is just doing things that just get on his nerves. And he's like, oh, okay, you're gonna play. All right, I'll show you how I play. And then
Yeah.
guiding bolt and throw her in the brig.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, Zana does not feel any compassion for her. He does not.
Yeah, I feel like Serafina feels the opposite. I feel like Serafina and Zada are
Yeah.
sort of very different on our feelings of Dark Down. In our chat we had like our player chat, we had a poll about what we should do with
Mm-hmm.
Dark Down. Two people voted to just straight up kill her. I knew one of them was you. I don't know who the other person is in our group chat. I'm like one of those votes is Royal. I already know this.
Yeah, Zada was as me. Zada was like, yeah, just kill her. If she becomes a burden or a problem, cut it. That's his philosophy. Just
I think
she's
she's
dead weight.
cute though. I think she's cute. Like,
I think she's a fun character. I like her a lot as Royal, but
yeah.
Zada, it's not him. Like, there are just so many triggers for him. Like, he's like, she's like, I want to take down the power of the unwelcome ones. He's like, one of the unwelcome ones is Ere. You know that? I am a priest of Ere. I don't like that. And again, she messed with forces she shouldn't have and got fucked up. And he does not have any compassion or doesn't feel sorry for her. He's just like, what? You fucked up. And if you become a threat, I will kill you.
I feel like this is gonna be a problem because I feel like Serafina is getting really attached. Her little pseudo dragon is getting really attached. I feel like it's gonna be a problem if Sana keeps trying to hurt Dark Down.
If she doesn't give any ways for the need to for him to hurt her, he won't do it. But like, he's expected to kill her at some point. Like, it's just
No,
a matter of when.
no.
Like, if she does something, he will probably kill her. He doesn't think that she could be saved, nor does he think that she should be saved. She fucked up. There's nobody should save her.
Would you single-handedly make the decision for the group to kill Dark Down? Would you do it knowing that Serafina doesn't want you to?
Yes.
No!
If she
No!
does certain things, Zana will kill. He will not. There is
Mm-mm.
nothing. He is
Mm-mm. This is
impulsive,
gonna be a
and like I said,
problem.
oh, I know it's
This
gonna
is
be a problem. There's a couple of
gonna be a
people
problem.
it'll be a very big problem with, but that's just how Zana is. If he feels like she will become a threat to the party or to Ere, he will kill her,
Oh my
and he will
gosh.
not be sorry about it. He did it to the treasurer. He's not sorry he killed the treasurer at all. Like,
Yeah, but you know, Seraphina's not all attached to the treasure.
how
Mm-mm.
Zada is,
This
man.
isn't gonna go well.
Mm-mm. No, I already see that, but I understand. Like, in a role player's perspective, you have to think how like I would feel, and then how would Zada feel, and it's definitely jumping for the clause.
I might have to. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Good luck
Oh
getting around
my
Zada.
gosh.
Zada will go around you. As I mean, I've if you have seen it in any of our fights, if you guys have been injured, Zada goes murderous, and he is not forgiving. If we remember that one call with the mage that did the fireball and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
KO'd a
do
group,
remember.
he basically stuck his claws underneath her rib cage and then threw her down from the second floor to the first floor without batting an eye.
Mm. Okay.
So
I mean, I'm still hopeful that we can come to some sort of way forward for all of us. I feel like it's gonna cause problem in the group, so I'm interested to see how things play out. But I guess Serafina will have to be more protective and
he's
try to
back.
try to figure out how to control Dark Down before she gets herself
Try
killed.
to. Yep. Like I said,
So, Dark Down revealed some pretty juicy secrets.
some pretty juicy secret. Which one do you want to? Which secret do you want to talk about? There's a
Oh
couple because he can't
man,
roll any deception under over 5. So it's just all the secrets are being spilled, and Zada is not happy about. That's the other thing he is unhappy about.
yeah. So I think for me the juiciest one is about your lion love.
Mhm.
I want to know about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
about his lion love.
Yeah, I want to hear
Yeah,
about his lion love.
he, he was definitely in love with somebody, and he
Was
does
it
not
another
know if it was.
lion?
It was another lion,
Okay.
and he does not know if that person loves him or not, and he feels. Hmm, oh, yeah, I can go. I'll give you a little bit. He
Yeah.
feels not. He doesn't feel strong enough to try to go after that person. He is trying to prove that he is stronger right now.
Okay, okay. So, like, you mean strong enough, like, physically?
Yeah, physically.
Okay, okay.
Well,
So,
he feels it's physically. It's probably more mental, but for him, it's the physical.
right, that's the way he's interpreted the situation. He's like, I'm gonna go on like a workout montage and come back.
Pretty much. He's gonna go out into the world, fight the biggest, baddest things he can, come back
Mm-hmm.
and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I've killed all these things. I am the best."
Mm-hmm.
He like
And what makes Zara think that this lion would be impressed by Zara running around in this montage?
his like I said, his people strength is a very
Okay,
big
okay, okay.
part of their their culture.
So it's just
And
about the
if he is
culture, not
strong,
about this lion in particular.
I mean, it's a kind of a thing of I mean, even with people, right? Do you if you don't feel confident, how are you going to approach somebody, right? So he feels that if he gets the confidence by killing or taking on strong things or getting Ares' favor, then if he comes back, it'll show everybody that he is strong. He is a warrior, and then if he is strong enough, he can take what he wants.
Okay,
And even
okay.
though it may be that person, not in the terms of like I can like just physically take her or take this person and just be like, hey, this is mine now, but he can be like, look, I am strong, I can protect you, I am worthy like, I am worthy of your affections now because I
Mm.
did all these things. It's kind of like having a resume for him to go up to her, like, okay, these are my traits. This is what I've done. Can you please mark on do you like me, yes or no? So that's what he's thinking right now. Yeah,
Hmm.
that is one of the reasons he has left his pride.
Okay, okay. When I heard that, I thought it was unrequited love, but that's not it. I feel like unrequited love is the most romantic love.
Mhm.
But that's not what's happening here. It's more of um you Zada loves and admires this lion and just wants to impress them.
Yeah,
Okay,
and they
okay.
don't know it. They don't know it though. I'll give you that. It is they do not know that he is in love with them.
Okay, okay. So this lion might be into Zada. Do you know if this lion is into Zada or do you not know?
I don't know. I
Okay,
let Kara just decide. I said,
okay,
"Here, Kara, take the wheel."
okay, okay. I'm
There are
interested in
certain
this.
aspects that I don't even know. I just know what Zada knows.
What does Zada like about this lion?
What does Zada like about this lion?
Mm-hmm.
That they are confident, they are courageous, they are uh, definitely somebody that you can rely on, and they make Zada feel not like an outcast.
So Zada often feels like an outcast.
Zada often feels like he's an outcast.
Yeah. I feel like we've
Not a
all
lot of people know about Littlins, so you guys don't know
yeah.
too much about their culture and everything,
Yeah,
so
okay, okay.
you wouldn't
Well,
know
so
them.
even in his pride, Zada feels like an outcast.
Yeah. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he definitely
Mm,
feels that way.
yeah. Do you feel that way too?
Me as Royal?
As royal, yeah.
Oh yeah. I've always been an outcast. I have lived the black sheep for entire swaths of my life. I just feel like I am a black sheep at this point. I'm just like, whatever at this point. I don't really fit in with any particular clique. I
Yeah.
never really did, except for my best friends, the friends that I've had for like 20 plus years when I
Yeah.
met in high school.
Yeah.
Um, they are my best friends, and I love them to death. And I guess the closest I could say that to us is we were just like nerd gamers. That's the like those are definitely like the ones I fit in with. But in terms of like I wasn't really into sports, or at least not
Yeah.
popular sports. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a football player, not a soccer player, not a baseball player. I'd like to go. I like to swim. I like to do a little bit of track. I liked tennis. I played badminton. I like those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I always felt like I needed to prove myself. Like Zada does. I do feel like I needed to prove myself a lot just because like growing up uh growing up gay, it's in my generation at least, it always felt like
Yeah.
everybody was like, you're weak, you're not very strong, you don't know how to
Yeah.
do things. And I always push myself to be stronger, to be like show that people like I can take care of myself, I can do these things. Just because of my orientation doesn't mean I can't protect myself or do hard or tough things that
Yeah.
normal people usually could take on. Yeah, so I almost joined the army right out of high
Wow.
school. I got real
Is
close.
it because of these like pressures that you're feeling? Yeah, I can see
Mhm.
that.
So I wanted, like I said, I wanted to prove myself. But during that
Yeah.
time, don't it was don't ask, don't tell,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel comfortable going into the armed forces,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that because during high school and middle school, I was hyper aware of what everything I was doing because I didn't want anybody to know I was gay because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just such a bad connotation.
yeah.
So I didn't want more of that in um in the army. Or I tried to join, I tried to join the Marines and I didn't want
Wow.
to. They hounded me for it for a long time.
Hmm.
I took an aptitude test and a couple of things and I scored really, really high. And they were
Wow.
like, we really, 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 really want you. And I was like, that's nice. Not going to. So yeah, they hounded me for a while. But as most I'm sure most recruiters do. But also like they were very impressed with my aptitude skills and the skills that I had. They were just like, you have very good, like what we require for leadership positions, and
I
you scored
see.
very high on those, and
Yeah.
we would really want you into the program. And they were like, we can help you with school. What do you want to do? And I just was like, no, I mean, I really was thinking about it, but I just don't want to. And if if the decision to go away from Don't Ask, Don't Tell happened a little bit earlier, I may have just actually joined the military. But I didn't.
Wow. Wow, your life could have been so different.
Yeah. Um, yeah. But again, that's just Royals stuff. But that is also, like I said, I take a lot of different perspectives of myself and I put it into my character, and that's very much Zada. Is he is just trying to prove himself that he can be the strongest. He is the better, and that's why he's very, very competitive. That is why anytime we are doing
Mm-hmm.
any type of team competition, Zada is going to be there. He's going to be like, I am going to be the best, and he has not, and it's been really bumming him out lately.
He can't return home.
Oh, um, so yeah, that's a little bit of like Zada and Royal together. That's a little bit of me and him.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing that there's a lot of overlap between Zada and Royal that I wasn't aware of. So I feel like I don't know, I appreciate Zada so much more
Mm,
and as I realize how much of a reflection he is on you, and I think that's really sweet. Thank you so much for sharing.
problem. I don't have a problem talking about myself. I think as I've gotten older, like I used to be very closed off, but as I get older, it's just like, what's the point of just keeping it in? It's just I just rather tell people now. So if you ask, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
How do you
um,
feel about so like Zada's been trying to incorporate into the group and like we've been coming together as like a streaming team. Like how do you feel that's been for you personally?
Personally, for me, this is definitely something that was very much outside my comfort zone. I don't
Yeah.
like I said, I've had my same friends for like 20 years, and
Exactly, yeah.
there are very few friends that I have gone and made outside of my group.
Mhm.
But I did a big life change, and it was big, and I was like, I need to do something different with my life. And I was like, I really been wanting to play D&D, and my group, my friends, I love my friends, but we have a really hard time, as with a lot of groups, pinning
Yeah.
down times where we can
Yeah.
all play D&D.
Yeah.
So it was like a start and go, and I was like, I really, 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 really want to play D&D again. And I would really, really like to get into the role play perspective because I think it's really fun. I think it's really neat. This is like my first time doing like a lot of role play. My friends are more like it's like an RPG, let's go kind of a thing. So
I see.
and that's I like it's good. I like that. Like we're just there to beat the bad guy and figure things out, figure puzzles. But I did
Yeah.
want to get more into character development, and Zada is my first attempt at really doing that. So I tried. I listened to a lot of videos. I did a lot of like research to try to make a good character. I am I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm still self-conscious about doing voices. I love doing voices, but I'm really self-conscious still about my voices, so I don't do them.
Okay, that's news to me because I did not know that. I feel like you've been hiding this from us.
Yeah, I'm very self-conscious. I don't think I'm really good, but I like to do different types of voices and stuff like that. I
Oh
can
my
do quite a few.
goodness.
Um, I don't know. My friends, when they like to hear it, some of my friends like to. I can talk like Stitch. I can talk like Gurgi from Black Cauldron. I can do a few other ones. It's just I get self-conscious about it. I don't like doing that too often,
Okay,
but
I'm not gonna ask
something I
you
want
to
to do.
do it, even though I want
Yeah, so I like doing voices and stuff like that, and I for a while I was trying to be. I was also trying to do like voice acting for a little bit, but I fell off the wagon for it. I did get like auditions and stuff way early. And also in my company, I was doing video game testing. Some of the people, like sometimes they would come in and be like, "Hey, do people want in the office to do some voice acting for some of the characters that we were going to have in there?" And I did apply for some of them. But they were like the big dark villain ones, and they're like, your voice is too anime protagonist, we can't.
it.
I was like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, you have that really nice like anime perfect protagonist voice. And that's when
Yeah,
I started to look
yeah.
into voice acting and stuff like that. And this was like early 2004 2005.
Mm.
So I got like I got into like talking to an agent and stuff like that, but I just didn't feel
What?
like I was good enough, so I just stopped. It's one of
Mm.
the things I kind of like feel like I probably should have tried a little harder for. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I like doing voices, so I'm self conscious about voices. I don't like my voice. I feel like my voice is very high pitched. Hence
Hmm.
anime protagonist.
You know what? I've
But
never thought of your voice as high pitched. I mean, I think we all hate our voices. I have thoughts about my own voice too, obviously. I think
right.
yeah, the way it sounds like in our own ear and then
Hmm.
in a recording, it's so different. I feel like I'm so nasally. Mm.
Yeah, so that's a fun thing. So I did psychology and stuff like that. That is actually because the way we hear our voice is actually through our bones.
Yeah.
So the vibrations are different than when we hear it out loud. It's
Yeah.
completely different than what we sound like. So it's just like that's why we hate it because it's like that's not my voice, but it is your voice. It's
Oh
just not
gosh.
hearing it through reverberations in your bones instead of
Yeah.
actually hearing it through airwaves. Like,
Yeah.
hate it.
It's pretty terrible.
Um, yeah, so I've just started to do stuff that my friend Michelle, she is my best one of my best friends. She she always says like do things that make you uncomfortable, and she started doing it, and she started doing like Twitch streaming and stuff like that, and
Mm.
she helped me do that by doing starting raiding in Final Fantasy. I didn't feel like I was good enough
Mm.
for raiding, but then I started to raid and I saw that I could do it, and yeah, so I started up looking for a group on my own time. I
Yeah.
applied for a lot of different ones. A lot of them, some of them didn't work out very well. And you guys came in and I applied, and Bobby gave me tons and tons of feedback. And
Yeah,
I
he's
kept on
really great
trying to
at that.
do different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I had to keep changing. He's like, try this, try that, try this. And I'm like, all right, I'll do this, Bobby. And he's like, okay, now I don't want you to do that. You seem like this. So try this. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And he's like, okay, this is some of the feedback. But I always try to take whatever Bobby said and then try to run with it as best I could, because I did want to do get in a group. I did want to play with people, and like people aren't criticizing to make you feel bad. They're criticizing you to make you a better person most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I can try to take this criticism and run with it. So yeah, so my first few characters were kind of silly, but I didn't really have a lot to go on. Again, this is I didn't really get into a lot of character
Mm,
creation other
yeah,
than just
yeah.
classes. So yeah, Zada is my first actual RP character that I came from the ground up, and I really sometimes just sit back and think of like certain things that I'm going through, and then I would say, how would Zada react to this? Because I feel like that's a really good way to understand your character, how they're different from you, as compared to like your character compared to you. It's like how would they react to certain situations compared to how you would react to a certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I've just been trying to do that, and I don't know. I feel like I haven't really talked to Kara too much. I just kind of gave her like, "This is Zada," and she's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Cool." I haven't really talked to anything else about her other than that, but I think she has a good grasp, and if she needs more information, I feel like she'll come to me and ask me about Zada stuff, and I'll be like, "Yeah, this is how it would be." But I think she's got a pretty good grasp on my story so
Yeah,
far. I hope.
I feel like Zada is a character that, I feel like all of us can stop and think like, oh, what would Zada do? And I think it's clear in our minds what his thinking is, his and how he reacts to things. So I think you've done a really good job of personifying him. Is that a word? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, yeah, personifying.
Personifying him, and yeah, embodying him. Yeah, I think that's really interesting what you said about how your friends tend to navigate like an RPG, sort of more like a video game. Like you said, it's more like a puzzle and sort of like more like a dungeon crawl rather than trying to think of a character and character development. We do talk about that in our let me plug this. Let me try plugging something. We do
Plugging, let's do it.
we do talk about this in our casting friendship, and it's actually with Dane, where we talk about exactly this, sort of comparing and contrasting different ways to play RPGs, which is do you approach it more like the way that we're trying to, where it's very RP heavy versus just using an avatar to like navigate through a puzzle. And I mean, I think we both share an experience where I think a lot of my Dungeons and Dragons experience before this was kind of like your table of friends. And yeah, this is the most in depth I've tried to come up with a character and a storyline, and with depth and with other people who are like as invested or like way more invested. And it's amazing to behold
Mm-hmm.
the level of intricacy and vulnerability that like people can bring to the table. And I think it's just very delightful to learn how much you brought yourself into Zada and in ways that I hadn't realized before. So I think I appreciate and love Zada so much more now, even though he's gonna try to kill Dark Down, and I don't want that.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate thing. But yeah, Zada is a very stoic guy. He's just that's how he be, and not he's not one to talk about his feelings. He's
Yeah,
just gonna be like, "This is what I do."
yeah. So let me ask, help me read the tea leaves. What do you think are some predictions you have for upcoming sessions or just like in future in the campaign?
Oh, future in the campaign. Bad stuff's gonna happen when we get to that town.
I think we're just gonna
Where
have a wonderful vacation and run around in our bikinis and lioncloths and enjoy the weather.
because loincloth also just doubles as a bathing suit. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, No, I feel like whatever anything that goes against a god or trying to fight a god or take over a god does not end up being super great for anybody involved. So I feel like whatever happens because of this artifact that we're going to that Dark Down's looking for that belongs to one of the unwelcome ones, Ishtar or what his name. Um, if she gets it, it's going to either kick off something terrible or it's going to be if we can stop her from doing something terrible before. And that's what Zada's planning on. He's planning to let her get what she wants, understand what she's going for, and then take her out before the bad thing happens. And he's 100% confident he can do
Oh
that.
my
And as I've said, I am
gosh.
not confident at all as royal that I can do that. But Zada feels completely confident that he can kill her right before she gets what she needs. But
No. This
he's
is
just
gonna
trying to
be
get as
a
much
serious
information.
problem. This is gonna be a
I
serious
know.
problem.
I know.
This is
And I'm
gonna sever the
sorry.
group.
It's gonna split the group.
Look what you've done.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my goodness.
Zada is not one to think about the consequences of his actions until after the actions have been done, and he will not think it's a bad thing. And he will be probably very confused why everybody is incredibly upset with him. If people are upset with him, he won't understand. He's just gonna be like,
I don't think everyone's gonna be upset. I think Seraphina's gonna be upset.
Marley's gonna be upset.
Yeah, Marley's
Seraphina's
gonna be
gonna be
upset.
upset.
I don't know if anybody else
Bula
is
will be
gonna be that
upset.
upset.
Bula will probably be upset because
Because
Marley is
Marley's,
upset. But
yeah.
I think everybody else is gonna be like, yeah,
Oh,
okay, that's fine.
thank goodness.
Though you may have convinced a few people that maybe that's not so bad, so maybe more people will be angry with Zada. But I don't. You're gonna have to really work hard if you're gonna try to convince Zada that he should be saved because on his lists of things he doesn't care about, it's definitely Dark Down.
uh, Alrighty, well, thank you so much for hanging out and being so vulnerable and sharing and giving us a little bit more insight about both Zada and Royal.
Yeah, I gotta keep a few secrets for later on. I have more stuff. Yeah, I gotta keep a few things up my sleeve for Zada.
Yeah, we can.
You got some fun.
We'll dish about those next time.
Actually.
Alrighty, well, have a good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining.